Well, today marks a year since an attack on Burmese police posts triggered a military crackdown against the Rohingya Muslims, leading to their mass exodus into Bangladesh. Their persecution has become one of the world's foremost humanitarian crises, with the UN describing it as a textbook example of ethnic cleansing. On the anniversary, nearly 1 million Rohingya refugees are celebrating the Muslim holiday of Eid al-Adha inside sprawling refugee camps in Cox's Bazar. Well, let's get the very latest now. We're joined by Tun Kin. He's the president of the Burmese Rohingya organisation within the UK. We're also joined this hour by the Labour MP Rushanara Ali, who is the co-chair of the all-party parliamentary group for Burma. Thank you both for joining us here on Sky News. Tun Kin, let's start with you. A year on from the beginning of the crisis, what is your understanding of the situation for Rohingya Muslims right now?
The situation is still not good at all, instead getting worse. Still Rohingyas are fleeing from Burma to Bangladesh as far as what we learned. Human rights abuses and genocidal acts are still continuing, and government and military jointly, they are pushing Rohingyas to take NVC, National Verification Card, and there is policy towards Rohingya from the Burmese military and the government. Nothing changed at all. Instead, a lot of hatred speech and hatred against Rohingya is increasing in Burma. That is what we can see. And there is, unfortunately, the international community is not doing at all anything good enough. We are calling for ICC referral, international protection for the Rohingya refugees, and things are diverting with repatriation issue where there is no such hope for the Rohingyas in their homeland. So we have not seen from particularly UK government any concrete action, and UK government, they did not support ICC referral. Instead, they are calling from Burmese government to form own commission, where this own commission is telling that international community, we will not investigate any crimes. So this is such how the international community is leading to now. We are, as a Rohingya myself, it's very disappointing. 1 year on, 1 million Rohingyas, they fled to the Bangladesh, and at least according to our information, 20,000 Rohingya been killed. There is no such justice and accountability for that. That is what heading to now until today, even 1 year.
Well, Tun Kin, let's try and get some answers for you and speak to Rushanara Ali. Rushanara, you have a very powerful position, being on the all-party parliamentary group for Burma. Why is nothing being done internationally to help these people?
Well, first of all, I think that the international community has dealt with kid gloves when it comes to the Burmese government in the hope of the transition to democracy. But the Burmese military still control the major apparatus of power, and they have used that to repress minorities, the Rohingya minority in particular, but also in Kachin and Shan state. And the international community has been very weak on holding them to account and seeking justice. The UK government has not taken a leadership role. The UK leads on the UN Security Council for Burma, but they haven't applied pressure on the Burmese government sufficiently.
So what pressure are you applying then? Within your role as co-chair, a powerful role, what pressure are you applying on the UK government to make a difference?
Well, it's an all-party parliamentary group, and we as parliamentarians, over 100 parliamentarians, called for the UK government to take a leadership role in seeking a referral, building the coalition for a referral to the International Criminal Court of the Burmese military, who are responsible for the slaughter and mass murder of thousands of people and the displacement of 1 million people into Bangladesh, but also not giving much access for humanitarian assistance for Burmese Rohingya people who are in Burma. And the international community has got a role to hold them to account. The UN has said that it's likely that crimes against humanity, genocide, has been committed. It cannot be ruled out. To establish this and also to hold the Burmese military to account and prevent them from doing this again, because they've done it again and again, the international community needs to step up. That's the pressure we've been applying as parliamentarians to our government. We need the new Foreign Secretary to take these matters seriously. It's not on his radar yet. The UK government has been good on the humanitarian side, but not good on holding the Burmese to account, the government to account, and in making sure that people get justice and recognition for their rightful place in Burma and recognition of their citizenship rights.
Tan Kin, does that sound good enough?
Yeah, we need to see how far British government will move forward. That is very important. But for us, time is running out. Of course, we really appreciate British government support on humanitarian aid. Of course, we need to look at law. This is political solution that Burmese military and Aung San Suu Kyi government, systematically denying everything, and instead, situation is getting worse. So how can we step in? We want to see practical action. That is very important.
What's your understanding, Rushanara, of what's actually happening on the ground?
Well, I recently visited the refugee camps, the largest in the world now, in Bangladesh, in Cox's Bazar, and the situation is really challenging. The government of Bangladesh, with support of UNHCR and other NGOs, have been trying to deal with 1 million refugees in very difficult circumstances, but the monsoon season is making it really, really challenging for them to cope, and only 1/3 of the UN appeal for humanitarian assistance has been provided. So there's limited resources and limited access to healthcare and support. Shelter is pretty, inappropriate for the rainy season, and this is a country that's also at risk of cyclones. So although the way in which people are coping and living, and the fact that the NGOs do have much greater access in Cox's Bazar than they do in Burma, it is still very difficult as an environment for refugees to survive and thrive and try and cope with the trauma that they've been under, but also trying to rebuild their lives without the support of the international community and without additional funding to humanitarian agencies. So, one of the things I found, I was walking around the camps and I was dressed appropriately for those conditions, with gumboots and all sorts of stuff that you get when you're a visitor. But, I often felt like I was going to slip and fall. Imagine what that's like for elderly people, for small children who are trying to walk around. At night, it's not safe for women. There are issues around sexual violence. Healthcare is very difficult to get access to. NGOs are doing a very, very difficult and valiant job under difficult circumstances. And this is on the side where a government and the international community is able to provide support. Imagine what it's like in Burma, where I've also visited twice, where it's the access is very limited. People can't move around. They're like prison camps. And this is the context in which the Rohingya are living in Burma, as well as, and then in Bangladesh, it's to do with lack of humanitarian assistance and the circumstances in which they're living in. So the international community, 1 year on, must not forget what's happening to these people. And we mustn't forget that if we don't act, if our government does not hold the Burmese military to account and seek a referral to the ICC and build a coalition for that, the Burmese military have shown that they, time and again, take action against the Rohingya, and they could do it again. That's why it's really important that our government acts.
Okay, let's get a final word from Tan Kin. You've been waiting patiently there. I know that you say yourself you are a Rohingya Muslim. It must be heartbreaking for you to see what's happening to your community, particularly to citizens within Myanmar or Burma. What's your message to people who are watching who want to do something to help?
I mean, this is in 21st century. We are a community. Rohingya people are facing genocide. You know, it's 1 year on. This is happening until now. So we have not seen. So everyone from international community, the governments, academics, journalists, and whoever, individuals and governments, everybody need to move forward to support, to stop this genocide against Rohingya people. And international community must come forward collectively, to stop this genocide, because international communities say whenever it's happened, never again. This is right now happening against Rohingya people in Burma, western part of Burma. So we need everyone's support, from British, from UK, US, EU, and OIC countries. Everyone need to come with collective action to stop this. So its time is running out. Day by day, Rohingyas' lives are Rohingyas are dying in camps, and how many more Rohingya need to be killed to come forward to take action from international community. So we appeal international community to come forward to take action. We are seeing many about the Rohingya issue, this crisis in media every time. We have seen many statements, but we want to see action, direct action from the governments to Burmese military and NLD government. That is how it can stop. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Tan Kin, they're president of the Burmese Rohingya organisation, and also Rushanara Ali, MP there, and co-chair the all-party parliamentary group for Burma. We appreciate your thoughts this hour.
Thank you.